Investors look at return on investment. Smart investors look at return on time. That's just one of the key lessons that I've learned from Sumit by speaking to you for 10 minutes before this recording has started. Welcome to Sumit. Great to have you here. How are you?
Hi, Amit. Thank you very much for having me on your podcast.
Absolute pleasure to have you here today. So let's get straight into it. Sumit, tell us a bit about your business and the kind of service you provide.
Hi, Amit. I'm in the business of accountancy services. Like many accountants, we are boring accountants, but we tend to change our perception by providing one-stop ecosystem solution, which includes accounts, compliance, corporate advisory, mergers, acquisitions, will, probate, advisory, inheritance tax, complex tax solutions.
Whole lot.
We are in, we are with our clients, helping them build lucrative business and save
Amazing.
taxes. So we are on a mission to save taxes and build our client lucrative businesses.
And who doesn't want that? I love the sound of what you provide. But you've already shared some really good wisdom with me. And I think we should zoom into that already. You said, Amit, do you know what? You can have some wonderful assets giving you lots of money, but that's the beginning. We've got to think about time because time is more valuable. Tell us a bit about the playoff or the tug of war between return on investment versus return on time. What would make return on time more important from your experiences?
I think why time is the most valuable currency because you can increase anything in world. You can print unlimited money, you can print get unlimited assets, but you will never get more than 24 hours in a day.
Mm,
So as you grow, whether when you grow business, you have wonderful opportunities. And there is a concept of opportunity cost. So if you focus on A, you may not be focusing on B. So you need to be cautious. Let's say client A is worth £1,000 a month, but it takes you 8 hours in a month, which is £125 an hour. I'm just giving you return on time.
yeah,
Now I'm not selling that we need to sell time, but and client B gives you 500 quid a month, but it takes only 1 hour. So if you go by absolute number, you may think, okay, client A is better, £1,000 a month.
mm,
I should go ahead with client A. But if
yeah,
you have limited time and you're struggling with time, you may have to leave client A because its return on time is a lot less than client B. But if you have
exactly.
unlimited time, you're still free. You can take both the clients. But
Yeah,
as you get busy, return on time become more and more important because you are not able to service as a person, mainly in the service business, when client demand your personal time or you need to
mm,
provide your own personal time, it's very important. And I went through that phase whereby a lot of my property assets were taking far too much time. They were giving me amazing ROI. They were giving me
yeah,
amazing income. But in hindsight, I compared that to my other activities I was doing, the return on time was poor. So I
gotcha.
sold, and I'm in the process of selling some amazing assets.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, look, feel free to share the link. I'll put it into the rest of the recording of here for any other places you want people to see what assets you're selling and whether there are buyers out there. More than happy to share that. But moving on to the next point, when we were talking, you mentioned some very important points around. In fact, let's zoom into this a bit more. Return on time versus return on investment. Some people find it difficult to make that decision and that cut point. So, do you know what? No, my time is more important because sometimes they can get tied into the cash flow problem of I need the cash, I need the cash, I need the cash. I mean, what advice would you give to those people who are kind of at the cusp of saying no to business for their own good so they can grow? What would you say to those people?
I mean, I would not generalize, but for me, once I had enough income that I can
Mm,
sustain myself from my day-to-day work, and of course, I have enough assets that if I don't work, enough income that I don't need to worry about my daily expenses. I think that at that stage, once you're in that stage, you need to
mm,
really, really be careful who are you spending time with because again, time is limited. You do not want to work with clients who are really pain in the ass.
no.
Really, we call them PETA clients or D clients. We disengage them all the time. So it's very important that once you see if you have money problems and if you're not making enough, it's very hard. I you cannot take what you cannot apply what I'm teaching because anything which you get is extra cash flow. So if
Yeah.
you're in that kind of position, I won't use the word struggling, but building a position
Yeah.
whereby every month cash flow is very important. You need to be cautious of getting rid of any clients, any opportunities, because it can affect your cash flow badly and survival. But once
Yeah.
you're way past your survival stage, you need to be careful that opportunity A might be giving you some cash flow, but it also brings stress. So my
Mm.
personal reason was I wanted to have a balanced life now. In my last 20 years, I have been working 12 to 18 hours a day, and I won't say I didn't enjoy it, but the body is getting old. So I need
Yeah.
to maintain the balance. So I think once you're comfortable and where you have enough income, you should start thinking about return on time very seriously.
Very seriously. On that note, let's go on to the next point. Very important point. In fact, I think this phrase can be put out there on like a poster. And you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Skill set without mindset leads to upset. Did you make that up, or is that something you've come
No,
across in
no,
the past?
I went to a very nice conference yesterday, and there's a guy called Dave Harnett. He's kind of a property guru. So I was
Mhm.
talking as an accountant in that network called Progressive Property Network, Milton Keynes. We got
Right.
invited. So just so you know, we are property specialists. We deal with more than 2,000 landlords in the country. I'm myself an avid property investor. My portfolio may be worth more than 50 mil. So I built it over the years. So I shared my ideas and secrets and all the tax planning tricks. So Dave Harnett over there did mention 90% skill set with 10% mindset can still make you upset. So
Mm,
skill set without mindset can always cause a lot of irritation and upset. So if
amazing.
you love
So
this, you should take it. You should preach it because I loved it yesterday.
yeah, I think it's so true, and I love the fact that it's so easy to remember as well. I think I'm gonna have to get it printed on my wall over here. Skill set without mindset leads to upset, or 90% skill set, 10% mindset, you will be upset. But on that note, mindset. Such a huge word. People don't know where to start, where to end, but it's a huge word. Now, clearly, you've built a very successful business, franchise, etc., portfolio the last 10, 15, 20 years. Um, and let's talk about a specific set of audience, the ones that want to go from good to great, the ones that are now past survival mode. Yep, life is good. Kids are at a good school, going on holidays a few days, a few times a year, whatever. Life is good. What shift in mind, because you've been there before and you've now broken past that barrier. Lots of people want to break past that comfortable barrier. What advice or mindset shifts or thoughts would you suggest to people in that comfortable zone that want to get to that next level?
I mean, a very personal question. I think each individual is unique. And
Mm,
I will not force this on each person, but I think it's a desire which comes from internally. And it's
mm,
got to do with your childhood, your upbringing, your social circle, uh, how you've grown. So mainly, if you would notice, Amit, a lot of people from Asian background, deprived background, they want to really go great
mm,
from not just good because we feel we have to prove a point. We have come from a deprived background. I'm not saying everybody is, but we
yeah,
feel that we have to prove
yeah,
ourselves. Now, mostly businesses which do go from good to great, it's internally, they just are so passionate. If money is not on their radar, it's just the
mm,
greatness is on their radar. And a lot of people want to do great with their life, but once you're in comfortable zone, I can tell you everybody wants to go into greatness zone because after 2 years of being comfortable, you'll start getting bored.
oh, yeah,
We all need dopamine.
yes,
So greatness brings a lot of dopamine. It brings a lot of respect, a lot of fun, a lot of energy. So it's more like an indirect drug, healthy drug.
mm,
So for your own sake, for your own benefit, goodness to greatness is natural when you're successful, when the formula is working. Where people lose the track, they might be very comfortable life as a consultant. They're selling their time, a good doctor, good surgeon, good consultant, good coach. It's just how do they go from being a consultant or self-employed to a business? How do they
mm,
leverage? How do they develop team? And that is where the real faith comes, real challenges come. And if they can develop, it's very easy to scale up once you have the right winning formula.
amazing, amazing. Love the sound of that. Um, Now, people, we touched on earlier on during our conversation that you're the average of the people you hang around with. If you're around average people, you kind of stay in that zone. If you become surround yourself with elite people, you become elite as well. Talk us a bit more about your experience and what kind of case studies you may have, if you have any. But how important is it to surround yourself with the right people?
I think this is fundamental. I can
Mm,
bet you, I can bet 200% anybody who's surrounded with wrong people, and I'm not saying wrong people means somebody who drinks or whatever. It's just, you know, if you want to do a project A, Amit, or you want to invest in something, you want to learn something, and your friend or family or your wife says, oh, it's a wastage of time. And even though your motivation is huge, passion is huge, it stays in the back of your mind, in subconscious mind all the time. Now, some people are very strong. They don't take anything in heart. They still go for it. It's just their desire is so strong. But majority of us gets influenced. And if you read the book Outliers, it's an ecosystem which we go. Why do we send our
mm,
clients, kids to private school or grammar school? Because if we want to provide them ecosystem, right people, right connection. So it's not what you know. It's not. It's also about not who you know. It's really important your network, right? And right network can take you to right stages. And I feel very very lucky in my life that I was always associated with right people. And you would realize yourself that your energy. Today we are talking. If you these 45 minutes you're enjoying, you would naturally realize that Sumit is my type of person.
yeah,
We're working with him, and same goes to me that when I talk to someone, I feel okay, he's my type of person. And it comes from if you're spiritual and I'm spiritual, we'll enjoy both. If you
of
somebody else
course, yeah,
goes out to same pub and person B goes out to same pub, they will enjoy more. It's like if I
exactly.
like football, you like football. But it's very important to not to have surrounded with people who can bring you down. Now,
Mm,
bring you down means they talk bad behind your back. They're not genuine. They don't wish good for you. And they are very negative and they make
mm,
fun of you. So it's very hard to find out. But honestly, the more you work with age, with experience, you would know the flow of energy. It's not
yeah.
rocket science.
Yeah, and sometimes some people put it down to the word instinct, and some people brush the word instinct away because there is no logic there. But often it is energy. Sometimes you think, I just don't get a good feeling from that person, and
And
I've got
go
an
with your gut.
instinct.
Honestly, go with your gut. There is no
Because that's
harm.
energy. In a way, it's energy, and
Yeah.
you sometimes you can sense the vibe of, is that person helping me and helping me grow, or are they really bringing me down and maybe hampering and shutting
You
down
would
and
always
reducing my
notice, Amit,
ambition?
your good friends, when you
Mm,
ask them help, they will not make you ask. You would say, "Oh, can you pass me that offer we talk about today?" And then you don't have to remind them 5 times. They will straight
mm,
away share everything good with you. Whereas
mm.
somebody you keep sharing with them everything, and you realize, "Oh, I'm not getting anything good shared with me," or that person is keeping everything to their chest, and you're opening up. So it
Yeah,
cannot be one way.
yeah. It's going to be two-way as well. But talking about two-way, Sumit, you've been giving us a lot of advice, not just one way, two-way. You've been giving plenty of advice, which is amazing. Thank you very much for some great shares. I'm going to get this recording out there in front of as many people as possible because it's so important they listen to it. But on that note, hopefully our paths cross again in the future. You have a lovely afternoon, and I shall speak to you later. Thank you for everything.
I, Amit, thank you very much. And I know I'm not getting anything just one way. You've already promised us to podcast us and share with as many people. But I wish even one person, if they benefit from what I've shared today, I'll feel this podcast between us and time spent between us is very successful. But thank you
That's
very
what
much
makes you an
for
amazing
picking me
person. Thank
up
you.
and giving us this opportunity.
Pleasure.